Let's talk about your show. So
Okay.
it's called. I mean, you've had some good names in your show.
Oh, no.
And they Tart.
Tart is the current show, yeah.
Why did you decide on Tart?
One, it was my Bake Off plug.
Okay.
Two, I thought, do you know what it was? Is someone said to me last year, they said, the problem with Northerners is, and I was like, oh, I love where this is going. And they said, the problem with Northerners is you use a lot less words than we do to make your point, so it sounds harsher. So then I was thinking, so I talked about that in the show, so I was like, how can I say it? And I was like, well, they're trying to say we have like a tart reply, don't we?
Yeah.
So then I called it that. But then because of, like you say, because I hit on all these men, everyone thinks I'm using a derogatory word for like...
Yeah. But then that's okay.
But it also does work for that.
It does work for that.
It does work for that.
Just in case there's a very attractive man in the front row.
Because I always say with people, not with people, what I love about audiences, because people assume I have a very sort of gay heavy audience. I actually don't. I have a really middle-aged,
Right.
sort of working class, straight couples audience, like people that have not seen me live and then come and see me, in particular producers or celebs or whoever. They always go, there's a lot of like, it's like a telly audience, isn't it? And I said, yeah, my audience, and I tell them to their faces, so I have no qualms telling you. I go, it looks like you've all done a mad dash through Matalan. That's who they are.
So why have they come to?
I think it's because they get the stories, they get the cheekiness, they get the naughtiness, but they sort of know it's all from a good place, do you know? And it's that I made a rule, especially post-COVID, where I was like, I'm not talking politics in my stand-up. Because I just think if people are coming on a Saturday night with a drink, they've come to just hear the dick jokes, I think, because everything's dead hard. Yeah. So I thought, let's just talk about hard penises.
Okay. I'm the same.
I know. I know.
We're very similar in many ways.
When people say who you're similar to, like, you get the odd, like, basic person that's like Alan Carr. I'm like, no, Richard Herring. Me and Richard.
You know, we're very much obsessed with cocks.
That's exactly right.
I have less hands-on experience. I've got a lot of hands-on experience with one of them, but I've got less hands-on experience with the others.
I always bring things to the gutter. That's my gift.
But see, I think I love that Vis Profanosaurus. I think it's like poetry, and the jokes in the Vis Profanosaurus, which is just,
Have you seen my face gone blank?
You do not know what it is.
No.
Oh, it's literally just like, and now I've got to think of an example, but basically it's definitions of about 5 things, but there's about 1 billion of them, So one I've got in was the naughty Nazi salute for an erection. Was a naughty Nazi salute, that kind of thing. But it's very poetic. It's kind of poetry of the gutter. Yeah. But like, because it's of so few actual things, you've got to be so imaginative to get it. And I feel that with comedians. I mean, obviously there are comedians who do hack jokes about genitals, but I think like if you're choosing a subject that lots of people are doing, you've got to have really good material about it for it to
Well, I
fly.
always say as well, actually, because I joke and say I do a lot of dick jokes, but actually, I don't. Like, none of my jokes are actually about sex. Like, they'll be dirty jokes. Yeah. So it might be like about when I dated, or like nowadays it's almost, because I've been my boyfriend for 7 years, I'm over sex. So that's what I talk about. So I think that's as well what the married couples are relating to, is going like, oh my God, I'm so bored of him. I'm plotting his death. That's what we talk about in it. So I think sometimes it is that sort of, I mean, I don't want to be so bold, but that sort of Lily Savage thing, do you know, where it's like, if a husband or wife could say exactly what they're thinking, I think it's like that. Because I was like, because when people say I'm rude, I'm like, I am rude, don't get me wrong. But I don't think I'm as rude as you think I am. I think I have some really rude things, or it'll be other things people say to, how rude can I go on this?
As rude as you like.
Okay. So I went on holiday last year for my friend's 40th, and the dumb sausage had booked a 2-star hotel in Ibiza. Now, the problem with that is twofold for me. One, that's where my audience go. So I was spotted a lot when I did Aquazumba. And 2, on the first day, we met this girl, Becky with an I. So already we're off. And I said to her, I was like, Becky, no one's in the pool. And I said, it's a gorgeous day. Why is no one in the pool? It makes me feel like something's going on. And she went, people don't get in till much later because at night, all the reps are shagging everyone. So it just looks like a boiling pan of poached eggs. So it's like, I know that is rude, but you go, it's not me being rude. I'm just repeating what someone said to me.
And this is poetry.
Yeah.
And it is poetry. Yeah. So when you're doing a show, when you're doing an hour, are you sticking to a script? I can't imagine you are.
Yes, but it ends up being like an hour and 20.
Yes,
because I do have the show, because otherwise I go, how can you sell a different show to people every year? So it's all different material every year. But I will go off.
Yeah.
And I will always come back and finish the show.
Yeah.
But I will be, because someone had said to me during a show, what did they say? Like, someone did my voice at me, so I went off about that for half an hour. And it's just like, I think it's like a rant in a staff room.
Yeah.
But I'm well dressed.
Well, look, and I think it's interesting you're talking about that idea. I feel like old school stand-up, for all its flaws, and all its mother-in-law jokes and all its wife jokes, and it was sort of about, at the heart of it, it was about, here's your boss and you've got to obey them in the week, but let's take the piss out of them now. Here's your wife or husband, you've got to be nice, you've got to make the relationship work, but here's the stuff that if we can laugh about it, then actually you can get through the next week
and I'm a big
without
fan.
killing each other.
Yeah, but I agree with you, actually. And I think, this is how I think, is when me and my mates go for a carvery, we're not talking politics.
Right.
We're talking, who's going out with who? Who's not been text back? Why I want to kill my boyfriend? And I just think, why we ate the kids? And so I just think, I've got to talk about it. I just basically, essentially, I see it as I'm getting paid to gossip.
Yeah.
And that's how I do it. And, I have highbrow opinions about stuff that's going on in the world, but I feel like, I don't think everyone's paying for that with me. I
think it's interesting, and I think it probably is quite hard for proper satirists at the moment because it's so, like if you were 15 years ago, you could be talking about the government, you could be saying, oh, the Tories are bad, or this is Labour's bad, and it wouldn't feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it might, you could have a bit of a laugh at it. But I think you're right. I think the mood, not for everyone, and the beauty of comedy is all of this stuff is going on. You can find the people who are doing that if that's what you're into.
Yeah.
If you want to go talk about Iran and nuclear war and have some jokes about it, there'll be someone who's doing that. But I think generally speaking, you at the moment we want to go and laugh at stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a big part of being a comedian to make sure people are laughing, and it's whatever else you're doing. If you're not getting that part, then there's a big part.
I want to remind people, I do a bit about, do you know the shop Home Bajans?
No.
Home Bargains.
Okay.
So I call it Home Bajans.
Okay.
That's not the joke. I'm always like, we're off to Home Bajans.
Okay.
And so I say it like that in the show, so people laugh. And it's just sort of, for me, you go, oh, it's an extra punchline, but that's just how I am. Because I don't want people to know I'm going there instead of like Waitrose or M&S. I'm like, Home Bajans. But what's funny is in the show, you always get people going, does he mean Home Bargains? And so now I've got another line in that, be like, yes, I'm just we're allowed fun. And that's my point of my show is going, let's have an hour and a half where we're just having fun. I'm a big believer. I think it's why, because the world is horrific at the minute. It's the worst in my lifetime. Anyway, it's the worst it's ever been. And you can see it in people's anger, their frustration, the way they respond to in an email, or the way they deal with conversation, or the fact that, like, oh my God, how dare I step off the tube before you step on? Or just like, I've done the most criminal act. And so I just think, but is that because there's not a lot of joy? When you watch a lot of telly, that's heavy. Mm-hmm. Do you know, like, everything's like a comedy drama with the drama. It's like, do we have to? Just want to laugh. Like, and I know it's brilliant. Everything's brilliant. That's why it's out there. But I also feel like, guys, we need to switch off for an hour.
Yeah.
Like, honest to God, last night I went to a pub quiz. I don't like forced fun. And so I sit there. My boyfriend loves forced fun. So he played the game and I'm eating the pizza. But then they did a heads and tails bit where you stood up and you put your hand on your heads or your tail.
Yeah.
Well, I bloody won it. And I was like, that exactly sums up my vibe. I have no interest in answering questions. But I was like, do a bit of that for a bottle of rosé. That sums me up to a T.